You hear the phrase military working dog, and most people still picture the German Shepherd, noble, loyal, reliable. But while the world clung to that image, something quietly shifted behind the scenes. The missions got faster, the combat zones got tighter, the stakes got higher, and suddenly good wasn't good enough anymore. Military handlers weren't just looking for a dog that could follow, they needed a dog that could predict, respond, and adapt. In real time, under fire, in chaos. And that's when the Belgian Malinois stepped into the spotlight. This breed didn't rise through the ranks because of its looks or reputation. It earned its place through performance, raw, relentless, unmatched performance. You want speed? This dog can clear a 6-foot wall like it's a curb. You want endurance? It can run for miles without losing focus. You want intelligence? The Malinois doesn't just respond to commands, it anticipates them. In the middle of a mission, with adrenaline surging and gunfire echoing, this dog will lock eyes with its handler and know exactly what to do. That's not luck. That's instinct, molded by purpose. The Belgian Malinois was never meant to be a casual pet. It was built for the battlefield, bred for pressure, designed for conflict. Where other dogs hesitate, it accelerates. Where others rely on training, it leans on instinct. That's why Special Forces units across the world, from Navy SEALs to Belgian Commandos, choose this breed time and time again. It's not about loyalty alone. It's about function, precision, execution. When lives are on the line, there's no room for second guessing. The Malinois doesn't blink. It doesn't ask questions. It moves like a shadow and hits like a storm. But here's the part no one talks about. The traits that make the Malinois perfect for war are the same traits that make it nearly impossible for the average civilian home. The dog you saw jumping through windows and neutralizing threats in 12 seconds flat? That's the same dog pacing your living room if you skip its morning structure. That's the same dog chewing drywall after 48 hours without stimulation. That intensity doesn't fade when the mission's over. It doesn't turn off when you're tired. It doesn't care about your weekend plans or your mood. The Malinois is wired to go. And if you don't give it a job, it'll make one. Handlers in the military understand this. They live it. Their entire lifestyle is built around routine, clarity, expectation. Every movement, every interaction, every breath is calculated. The dog becomes a reflection of the mission because the mission is always active. There's no inconsistency, no sometimes rules, no off days. That's why it works. That's why the Malinois thrives. In the military, this dog isn't an accessory, it's a teammate. And it's treated like one. Trained daily, conditioned physically, honored emotionally. But when you drop that same dog into suburbia without a mission, without a plan, without a purpose, things fall apart, fast. Not because the dog failed, but because the environment did. You can't take a Ferrari and expect it to perform in a bumper-to-bumper commute without overheating. You can't take a working weapon and expect it to act like a stuffed animal. The Malinois is not just a dog. It's a high-functioning organism of drive, instinct, and purpose. And if you underestimate that, you don't just fail, it fails with you. So why did the military pick the Malinois over every other dog? Because in the unforgiving world of tactical operations, this breed proved it could not only survive, it could lead. It could absorb chaos and give back control. It could take a handler's fear, pressure, adrenaline, and confusion, and channel it into focused action. That's rare. That's real. And that's not something you can manufacture with any other breed. But don't confuse military success with civilian suitability. This isn't a trophy dog. It's not a pet you can figure out as you go. It's a full-time relationship with an animal that doesn't want attention. It wants a mission. When people picture military dogs, they think of action, bite sleeves, helicopters, night missions. But what they never see is the silence. The bond, the unspoken contract between handler and dog that gets stronger with every mission, every step, every breath shared intention. People talk about training, obedience, drive. But what makes the Malinois different isn't just what it does, it's what it gives. And what it gives is total, consuming, all-in connection. If it doesn't believe in you, it won't follow. If it does believe in you, it will die trying to protect you. That level of trust, it's not taught. It's earned through sweat, through fear, through every moment when the stakes are too high to fake it. A good handler doesn't just give commands, they lead with presence. And the Malinois doesn't just obey, they mirror. The dog reads body language like a second language. It picks up tension before your hands shake. It hears your heartbeat shift before your voice does. In the field, when the handler's world is falling apart inside, the Malinois locks in, grounded, alert, ready. Not because it was told to, but because it feels that bond in its bones. It's not just loyalty, it's identity. This is why handlers don't just talk about owning a Malinois. They talk about being changed by one. Living with a dog that sees through the noise. One that doesn't care about medals or uniforms or promotions. One that cares only about you, the human behind the gear. That bond is built in the in-between. Between the missions, between the training sessions, between the long nights and longer mornings. When no one is watching, when the world is quiet, when it's just you and the dog who'd follow you into fire if you asked. And it's not easy. Because building that bond means showing up, consistently, clearly, honestly. It means training even when you're tired, being calm even when you're afraid, correcting without anger, praising without weakness. It means putting ego away and stepping up as someone the dog can believe in. Not just obey, but align with. That's what the military figured out. You don't just shape a Malinois, you earn its respect through character. These aren't dogs that follow rules, they follow people. And if you aren't consistent, if you aren't calm, if you crack under pressure, they will notice. They'll test you. Not to be disobedient, but to see if you're still worthy of being followed. That's the real work. Not just training mechanics, but emotional leadership. And now we come to the cost. Because genius comes with a price. The Malinois is smart, but not in a soft, cuddly way. It's tactical, obsessive, intense. It doesn't wait for you to catch up. It moves forward with or without you. And if you're not leading with clarity, it will make its own decisions. And that's how households get wrecked. Furniture destroyed, neighbors bitten, owners burned out. The Malinois doesn't misbehave. It compensates. When there's no leadership, it fills the gap. Not with rebellion, but with drive. And drive without direction becomes destruction. That's why so many dogs end up surrendered. Not because they were too much, but because they were matched with someone who gave them too little. So now we reach the heart of the matter. The Belgian Malinois didn't become the military's favorite because it's easy. It became the favorite because it's demanding. It pushes you. It stretches you. It won't accept laziness, inconsistency, or emotional instability. It's not a dog that fits into your life. It reshapes it. And that's what the military understands. This isn't a breed, it's a bond. And that bond is forged, not adopted. You don't own this dog, you become worthy of it through structure, through presence, through showing up every day. In a world of fleeting seconds, it's essential to determine what truly defines you. So ask. The choices you make and the paths you take. These are the moments that shape your destiny. It's time to reflect and find out whether you're living for the now or paving the way for something greater. The answer might just change everything. Because if you're not something this dog can believe in, it will find something else to follow. And you might not like what it becomes when left to decide for itself. But if you are the mission, if you're ready to give this dog everything, then it will give you more than obedience, more than protection. It will give you loyalty that makes your bones feel stronger. It will give you presence, protection, and partnership like nothing else on earth. And in the end, their instincts and adaptability made them invaluable companions in the field. The Malinois excelled. The Malinois' sheer determination, unmatched work ethic, and loyalty to their handlers solidified their place in tactical operations, embodying the spirit of service and sacrifice. These dogs have become more than just partners. They are trusted allies, unwavering in their commitment to mission and duty, not because it's the easiest, because it's the realest. And in war or in life, there's no better partner.